starting over. Algebra 3, lesson 27, related angles. All right, so related angles are the angles that exist between our angle and the x-axis. Okay, and we have seen these a lot. Okay, so for instance, if we're over here, and let's say that this is, 160 degrees. The related angle is going to be this angle right here. What is that angle? What is the related angle? 20 degrees. Okay? And the easiest one to see, the easiest one to always get is whatever occurs in the first quadrant, right? Because it's just whatever that is, right? But your next ones here, here, and here are always going to be this angle, and that angle, okay? And I don't know if I've talked about it with this class or with another class, but we always want to look at it in terms of part of a, let's see, you want to look at your triangles like this. Okay, your triangles will always look like that. So they'll always look like part of a butterfly, right? Imagine them as always like one wing of a butterfly and never as part of an hourglass. Okay, they'll never be taken back to the y-axis. It's always in a relationship with the x-axis. Does that make sense? Okay, so let's answer this first question. Okay, we want to find a related angle for an angle whose measure is 257 degrees. All right, so our initial side is always this. Because it's a positive degree, we're going around this way. Okay, and which quadrant should I stop in? 257 degrees. Where am I going to stop? Third quadrant, right? Because the division line is what, at 270 degrees? Good. Okay, so we're going to stop somewhere in here. Okay, and what we want to know is what is this angle right here? Okay, so keep in mind this is 90 degrees, this is 180 degrees, this is 0 or 360, okay, and this is 270. So I'm not looking for the difference between 270 and 257, am I? What do I want to do? How can I find that little black angle? What do you think, Emmanuel? How would we find that? We know that our blue line comes out to 257 degrees. Thoughts? You said 360 minus 257. What that would give me would be this degree right here, right? We want to keep it in the quadrant and find the black, right? But you're not wrong. It is a difference between two numbers. Yeah, it should be 180 because 180 is what we want to get back to. So what am I going to do? 257 minus 180. Okay, what do you get? We got 7. We got, what, 30? What? 77. 77. Yeah. 77 degrees is our answer. Okay? So it's going to be the difference between where I'm at and where I'm trying to be. Okay? Back to that x-axis. Okay? Let's look at another one here. We want to know the related angle for 129 degrees. Perla, where's 129 degrees? What quadrant is that going to be in? Second quadrant. Okay, so this is at 129 degrees. This is 180 degrees. We want this angle right here, correct? Okay, so how do we find the difference between 180 and 129? we don't want to subtract 180 from 129, because that would be 129 minus 180. What do we want to do? I think maybe you just had it kind of flip-flopped. Okay, so 180 minus 129 should give me, what, 51? Okay, 51 degrees. Notice that there's a really important thing that's given in this, though, that it says that the related angle is always a positive angle. So even if they give me, they ask for the related angle of a negative degree, my related angle is always positive. Okay, it's always positive. So if we get into some of your homework and you're wondering about how do I find a related angle of a negative degree, let me know. We'll walk through that, okay? Does this so far make sense? Okay. Okay, let's see. Finally, we have 4 sine 240. Okay, so this is actually going to use that because you notice that 240, 210, these are all things that these aren't winding up in a place where it's like a 30, 60, 90. You know what I'm saying? But we're going to use 30, 60, 90, but we're going to look at it on a coordinate plane. Okay? Let's see, Katie, 240 degrees is in which quadrant? It is the third quadrant. So we're down here. Okay? But we need to know what the related angle is. So just like in Geneva's question, right, where it was 257, she took 257 and she subtracted what from it? All right, so what is 240 minus 180? 60. So that tells me that this is a 60-degree angle right there. So what is this angle right here? What's that going to be? It is 30. All right, so notice here I have a 30, 60, 90 triangle. So I can go ahead and get my ratios together here, right? Now, what I do want to make sure of is because I am on a coordinate plane, this is negative and that is negative, correct? My x value is negative, my y value is negative. What is always opposite the 30? 1. What's opposite the 60? Not in this one. Radical 3, and my hypotenuse is 2. Okay? So we want 4 times my ratio. Okay? And my ratio is always based upon the related angle. In this case, my related angle is what? 60. So, and it says sine. So we want to know what sine of 60 is going to be in this case. What is sine? What is opposite here? Negative radical 3. And what is hypotenuse? 2. Not negative 2. Your hypotenuse is always positive, no matter which quadrant it shows up in. Okay? So in this case, I have 4 times negative radical 3 over 2. So what is that going to be? What do we think? What are we going to get in the numerator? What's negative 4 times, or what's 4 times negative radical 3? Don't give me a decimal. Negative 4 radical 3 over what? 2. Now simplify for me. What happens? Negative 2 radical 3 is my answer. Okay? We feel okay? We're still all right? Okay, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to do it again. Okay, I'm going to erase this. Can I do that? All right. All right, we're going to make a coordinate plane again. Emmanuel, it's 210 degrees this time. So which quadrant am I in? I'm in the third quadrant. Okay. I want to make sure to draw my triangle like this. My triangle doesn't have to be perfect, but it does need to be drawn back to the x-axis. What is the related angle here? If this is 210, what's the related angle? 70. No. 30. How did you get 30, Perla? 210 minus 180. How did you get 70? Emmanuel, what did you do to get 70? 270. Oh, you were trying to get to 270? Well, even then that would have been 60, right? But we're not trying to get, that would have gotten me to there. right? I don't want to get between my terminal side and the y-axis. I want to get from my terminal side back to the x-axis. Do you see the difference? Okay. So what's this other angle going to be then? 60. All right, we're still negative, negative, right? What's opposite to 30? Opposite to 30? 1. Okay? It changed, right? It's not 60 anymore. So what's opposite, even though the triangle looks the same, you have to go based upon the angles and what you know is opposite of them. What's opposite to 60? Radical 3. And what's my hypotenuse? Positive 2. All right? So we want 3 times that ratio. Okay? We want to go based on my related angle, right? What is my related angle? 30. All right? We want sine. What is sine? What's opposite of 30? Negative 1. Okay? What's hypotenuse? Positive 2. What's 3 times negative 1/2? Negative 3 over 2. Right? Put it in, yep, negative 3 over 2. Okay, that's it. So if I were you, in the next 5 minutes, I would try to find as many of these questions as possible in my homework and see if I can do them. If I can't do them, I want to ask before I leave. Okay?